start out with the one at the top, which is the most important positional battle that is going on as we enter camp, and that's the Geno Smith, Drew Lock competition that's undertaken. Early word is right now that Geno Smith has a very slight lead over Drew. Of course, he's had a head start with the personnel here and with the offensive playbook. Drew was just coming along early on, so you would expect that to maybe be a reality of what you would think you would see. And as I look at it more and more, we hear there's a lot of scuttlebutt in the background from the coaching staff as they say that we really do like Geno. You guys think we don't like Geno, but we do like Geno, and we like Lock too. And I went back to Geno again because it's a narrative I continually hear and is hammered into my ear over and over again by everyone, which is that, we know what Geno is. That's the narrative. The narrative is we know what Geno is. And I go, okay, well, maybe. I go back to last year, he played in 4 games. 3 of those games were against top 10 NFL defenses. And he acquitted himself pretty well. Best touchdown to interception rate in his career, highest completion percentage in his career, highest average yard per attempt in his career, highest quarterback rating in his career. But we know what he is. Do we? Geno Smith comes as a second-round pick to the New York Jets. A Jets team at that time that's driven by a maniacal Rex Ryan and his defensive proclivity. And it was a team built towards its defensive side of the ball, not built towards the offensive side of the ball. You guys want to hear about the skill position players he had through his first 2 years where the die was cast according to this narrative, where everyone tells us that this is absolutely what he is, and we know it. So let's throw him in the trash and just forget about it. Or here's his skill position players in his rookie season. Chris Ivory, Jermaine Curley, bust Stephen Hill, and old-ass Santonio Holmes. That was what he was throwing to that year. That was his, everywhere he looks, he's just got a playmaker here, playmaker there. But we know what he is. Then we get to the next year. Who was he? Did they add a lot of pieces? Did they go, boy, our quarterback had a reasonable first year, struggled a little bit. Maybe we'll give him some more playmakers here. Maybe we'll help him out a little bit here. I want to reiterate by that point, that was not Super Bowl MVP Santonio Holmes they were getting by that point. That was broken down Santonio Holmes by that point. That was, I'm basically almost done Santonio Holmes. So then the next year, they rocket back with Ivory and Curley. They bring in old Eric Decker. They go to Seattle, who at that point is absolutely done with Percy Harvin halfway into the year, and they offload him to New York. He wasn't going to last but another year in the league before he ended up retiring. And that was it. That was it. But we know what he is. Oh, but we know what he is. It's set. Because here's the thing about it with that narrative that is what he is and it can't be anything better and there's no potential here with Geno Smith and it's all is that he hasn't gotten a chance to start since those 2 years. So all of this narrative is based upon those first 2 years with the New York Jets, with the personnel he had around him, with a defensive-minded coach driving the bus wildly from lane to lane, swerving in every different direction. And there's no chance that there can be anything different with him at this point. I sort of shrugged to that. I sort of go, maybe Geno might just surprise some folks here. I'm certainly a guy that's going to cast an opinion on a player. And I'll be as harsh as any other person down the road on certain players and say, yep, done, know what he is, done with it. But when I don't have enough data to make an assessment, and I'm probably still guilty at times of having an opinion when I probably need to take in more data. But in this case, I just can't help but look at his career and the amount of times he's actually had a chance to start and play and go, okay, I'm going to make my final judgment on a guy and what he did in his first 2 years with a very less than ideal situation he was playing from within. In New York, under the bright lights, young kid. He fails in that situation or he doesn't bust out in that type of situation. And now that means he has to wear the scarlet letter on his chest for the rest of his career. And maybe these folks are right and he is what he is. I just always go, but how did you come to that opinion? What is it you're basing upon to arrive at that state? He's a toolsy guy. He can move a little bit. He's got a good live arm. But those first 2 years means he sucks now forever and he can't be anything good. Because last year you can't say he sucked. could say he didn't tilt the field. He didn't play superstar level quarterback. He didn't play MVP level. He wasn't a Pro Bowler for us. But you can't say he sucked. I see lists putting him out as the 40th best quarterback in the sport right now. I don't know. I don't know about that. So we'll see on this training camp. I went a little bit deep on that battle, but that's going to be one that's going to be interesting to shake out. And I'm not going to be the least bit surprised if Geno does happen to win it, especially as I've been harping on for now weeks, months, let competition win the day.